What? Oh no, you didn't. Hey everybody, it's hot diggity, right on the nose here. 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. That's how you say Pacific now. It's the proper way to say it. My name is Dr. Frank Kern, attorney at law, and for some reason I'm doing the introductions right now, but I think technically, Mike, you're the host. So I just horned in on the introductionalismness.
It's all right because technically that their slide says Frank Kern presents, and
Oh,
what this is it's part two. I made it a continuation. I thought that'd be a lot more interesting, and that way people who weren't here for part one would feel like they missed out on something special, and people who aren't here for part two are really going to be missing out because you've got a whole bunch of new information and data that you're going to be sharing, and that makes it twice as interesting. So this way,
I'll tell you in advance. I don't know why I'm always scheduled to do something. I hate schedules, but I have one. I blame the educational system, Obama, and the rap music for all problems in the world. I have 75 minutes.
that's perfect.
Perfect.
That's just
All
the
right.
right amount of time. And you know
Yes,
what?
I
You can blame the baggy pants movement as well. You could do that.
And the hoodies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those hoodies are bad.
Very bad. People
All
with
right.
hoodies.
Well, in
And
that
I've been
case, why don't we just shuffle along here so we're on time and we give people massive value?
Well, if we must.
Okay. Well, this is all about the latest offline stuff that's working for you, and I added a couple new things that you're going to be very impressed with. One of them is a dang good case study with our friend Brendan Burchard and how he's been crushing it with a little strategy for gathering buyer data. And I'm telling you, it's one of the smartest, coolest things I've ever come up with that other people are stealing from me right now, with my permission. He said he said looking for a lot of credit for that one, but seriously, it is a really really smart strategy. I'm really proud of how Brendan's been using it, and I actually borrowed it from our friends over at the Glazer Kennedy Center. So maybe just a quick and dirty thing here. We're going to give away an Apple TV today. I think that'll be fun. We gave away an iPad yesterday. Today is an Apple TV, and I'll show you how we're going to do that in a moment. And then might as well cover this little fine print stuff. I left it in as is, but the bottom line summary is we're here to educate and provide value to you, and we're going to be sharing some case studies. Some of them include some financial numbers that some of my students have actually generated, but it in no way is an indicator of what you can or will make. And so we just want to get that out of the way and be real cool and just let you know we're here to provide value and share with you some great case studies and examples and some real life recommendations on what's working for us right now. Anything else you want to add there, Mr. Frank?
Yes, the magic formula key to riches is work like a rabid, psychotic animal, and then continue to do so in the inevitable event that things go terribly wrong, which the only guarantee in this business is that things are definitely going to go terribly wrong, usually at first, and then you persevere through them and things become a lot easier. That's how you get rich quick, is you work like a fruitcake and a wacko for years, and after everything goes wrong, you keep on working, and the next thing you know, you end up having done pretty good, which anyway, I think everyone kind of knows all this stuff. It's pretty obvious. We're certainly not trying to insult anybody's intelligence with the result. It's not typical business. We just want to be obnoxiously compliant with any regulatory stuff that may or may not even dictate what we're supposed to say. It's so hard to figure that stuff out that you really never know, so we can't be too careful. So I think you guys understand that. If you don't mind, really, just type yes in the old chat bar if this all makes sense to you. You understand without question that we're not making any sort of typicality claim.
Yeah. Brenda said yeah, so that's pretty good. And
Cool.
I like that. And then, we're getting a lot of people making fun here and said the fine print, et cetera, et cetera. But, there we go. We got yeps, we got yups, and we got yeses. So I like that. We got C's, and I got a hell yes from Zachary, which I appreciate. So, and I imagine we're going to get even more creative responses. The other thing that I'd highly recommend you do is participate and ask questions along the way. Both Frank and I are going to be reading those. And then we did get a mother F yeah as well out of Justin, which I do appreciate. So maybe what we can do is just, to get things rolling here, we're going to talk a little bit about some big challenges that every business have. And this just comes from your comments and your feedback when you signed up. These are the common things. And we're going to, in some way or another, talk about all those. And then as we move forward, Frank's got a bunch of new slides he whipped up last night that are all about how what he's doing that's making money and actually working right now, and some things that didn't make money and why they didn't make money. And then I'm going to basically just share with you some really cool case studies, including, as I had mentioned earlier, a really, really cool one that Brendan Burchard's been using. But these are all real-life, real-world case studies that work like the dickens, and then we're going to demonstrate one of them as well. And then, of course, I can't do this without a shameless plug, which actually there's fewer than 50 of these because we did a webinar yesterday, but an opportunity to get what we call our best of box for free, which essentially combines all of our best products we've ever made in one place on 14 DVDs and about 500 pages of content, including step-by-step guides, and I'll talk more about it later. But in the meantime, just because Frank's got a limited amount of time today,
a limited amount of time left on this earth alive. If she sees
that's true. That's after that picture. We should have replaced that. You know, you got to get her out there. But should I just advance to the first slide, or do you want to preambulate this? You could preambulate it.
Yes, that's my beautiful wife. Both of those pictures are pictures of my wife, and it's outside of our gym here in La Jolla. And I took this picture to show Mike that we had just put up the sign with all the stuff with all the response mechanisms for instant customer system in there, and did not know it was going to be showing up on our webinar. So Natalia was like, "Don't let anybody see that picture. I don't like the way I look at it." I was like, "Okay, I'm just sending it to Mike so he'll see the sign there." And now several thousand people have seen it, thus sealing my fate of being a man probably tortured to death in my sleep tonight with some sort of Ukrainian mafia torture that only she knows how to do. Could be fun. You never knew. So, yeah, advance.
All right.
Jalista, as we would say. Cool. Oh, look, now my slides are still ugly.
Yeah.
So guys, I made ugly slides last night. I was like, will you please make them look cool like yours? And he's like, no, I'm going to outslide you. All right, so here's what we did with the gym. I opened this gym. Well, I spent a bunch of money to get the gym. Basically what I did, because I'm a genius, is I spent about $80,000 to create a big empty room with carpet in it. Construction costs in La Jolla are very, very expensive. I don't know how a contractor could figure out how to get me to pay 80 grand to basically have a big empty room with carpet in it, but they could, so we should all take lessons from the contractor.
I know that. I know the answer to that because you're a giant sucker, and you say yes too much.
I'm telling you, man. But anyway, it's, so now we have this gym and it's all lovely, and I became fascinated with the internet because, I'm supposed to be an internet marketer and everything. So I said, okay, well, let's get us some of them leads on the interwebs. So I did everything you see in the slide here. I hired me an SEO dude who was great, and he got us ranked on the first page of the Google for lots of relevant keywords, like obvious stuff, not stupid things like how to lift weights and work out in La Jolla, California on a Tuesday. I mean, like actual stuff people would look for. And we put up a good direct response style website with an opt-in page, which converted okay, And I thought, all right, well, here we go, And when I checked stats, we ended up having about 196 clicks for a 1 month period. With all that SEO, and we were top, we were front page at Google. It wasn't like any stupid weird shit. I mean, it was like our website right there, went straight to a decent opt-in page, not any hokey scripts or anything like that. And out of those opt-ins, we got like 3 customers or something. And our pricing, incidentally, is $30 a class or $197 a month. So, and almost everybody takes the $197 a month option. So it turned into about $600 a month for us, which was okay, but we spent a lot more than that doing the SEO and everything. So I was like, I'm not so sure about this, and this is the part where I'm sending Mike telepathic messages to change the slides. Look there, they worked. All right, so then I was like, okay, I'm trying to build the list, doing the normal internet stuff, and it was working okay. I mean, I got 36 local people who are interested in fitness and everything. But the deal is, now I can't tell you what my cost per lead was with the gym because I have forgotten. But in general, when I run ads for my own stuff, I'm paying about $5 to $8 for an opt-in. This is from PPC traffic, and I buy most of my PPC traffic from Facebook these days. So you guys all know this. Like Google and Facebook and all that stuff is great, but it's a major pain in the ass. You guys getting anything approved on Google is notoriously difficult. Facebook's a lot easier and they're cooler, but then you got to make sure it's getting in front of the right market and all this kind of stuff. And my results online with having the business on the front page of Google, great placement and not really getting that much traffic and the conversion not being that great, I was like, our local customers really searching online for local businesses. And in some cases, probably, there's some verticals where they probably do, but for, stuff like gyms and so forth, it's like, I really don't know. So I said, okay, well, if I were to try to build a really big list, it's going to be a hassle, so maybe I should consider buying one, which is, of course, when, the red flag goes up and it's like, oh, well, you can't buy a list, that'd be spamming. Well, not in the offline world. So I started thinking, hopefully I'm not alone in doing this. I know a lot of you guys that are with us right now are doing the local business marketing consulting and stuff. So I don't know about y'all, but when I talk to brick and mortar businesses, and this is assuming they don't already have a big list of customers and prospects, right? So it's assuming we can't do the obvious, which is customer reactivation campaigns and, email campaigns and so forth. Usually the last thing I tell them to do is go online. There's a lot better things you can do for a small business, a local brick and mortar company, than say, yeah, go get listed in Google Places or whatever. And I'll show you in a minute. So I was like, well, if I'm advising them to do all this other stuff, what the hell am I doing by just going online first? Because I thought, okay, I get some traffic to a website and everything, but I don't give a shit about traffic. I want customers, right? So I decided to really be my own client for a day and, pretend I was giving myself some advice. So, slide advancement, I think. So, when I talk to local people, which is rare, I don't usually work with local brick and mortar companies. I usually work with like authors and speakers and stuff, or when I even take clients. But occasionally I'll befriend them or whatever, or they'll figure out what I do for a living at a party and we'll get to talking business. So I always explain that there are 3 pillars of local marketing. And step number A is to know who your ideal customer is. Right? And the reason this is important is because most businesses just, if they market at all, they'll market horribly and they'll just try to put stuff out there to get their name out, and it's in front of a totally wrong audience, right? So if you recall from the picture, I don't know if you saw that slide very closely, but our gym is an exclusive women's fitness center. So I said, okay, well, I'm putting this thing up on the interwebs and where everyone that's searching for these relevant keywords can see it. I'm getting a little bit of traffic, not enough to get excited about, and not that much conversion. Well, who do I really want? And so obviously with it being an exclusive women's fitness center, I said, well, I want my customers need to be women's. However, we do have one dude that works out there, and I have to say he's a genius. Well done, sir. Marshall is his name. Anyway, so I said, okay, women, and then I said, well, we can't just have any random women. So I said, all right, well, I would like to attract women clients between the ages of 30 and 55, and the reason I did that is because women younger than 30 typically are already incredibly fit because they have youth on their side. So they're not, worried about staying in shape as much as women over 30, moms, brides, and so forth. And women over 55, and this is a gross generalization, I know, but as a wildly gross general rule, are not as interested in, attending a workout session, a very vigorous, difficult training at a place called, this specifically for women. So I said, okay, well, let's stick between 30 and 55 and see if we can attract those folks, because this is hard training and that's probably the demographic that's going to like it. Then I figured, okay, well, San Diego's a big place, and not many people, and incidentally, La Jolla, California, I think was just rated the third fittest city in the country. So there's a fitness place all over the place, so on every corner. I mean, there's a gym, there's trainers. I think we have more trainers than we have actual residents here. So I figured, all right, well, probably no one's going to want to drive 30 miles to come to our gym, so I decided I wanted females between the ages of 30 and 55 who live within 10 miles of our gym. And then I figured, well, we're not expensive, but we're certainly not cheap. It's about $200 a month, so I wanted them to have some money. So I said I want an income between $100,000 and $250,000. And then the big kicker was when I was really trying to identify these people, I said, well, still, with all of those characteristics, how do I know they even care about fitness? So then I figured, well, the big clincher here would be that they had expressed interest in fitness and dieting. So that's how I identify my ideal customer. So when we talked about this part 2 of the webinar, and I was going to tell you guys about how to get clients, new ways to get clients, the first thing I would advise you to do is to identify your ideal client. So if you're doing local business, there's likely a client that you have gotten significantly better results for than others, and you've had a better time dealing with than others, and you would like more of that person. Write out their characteristics, because I'll show you in a minute how you can find just these people. So you might be thinking, okay, dude, well, good luck with that, you know, because you're trying to find this narrow group of women between a certain age group and have to have a certain income, and they have to live 10 miles from your place, you know, and what the hell? So anyone want to guess how many women's I done found? Wait, that sounded weird. Anyone want to guess how many prospects I found? Let's see.
Yeah, type that in. We're going to type it in. We got, we got 3 from Jack Connors. We got 5,000. Jack's a little lippy. Brenda said, sounds like a great method for marketing jet and yacht rentals. 2,500 from Rick. We got women types, yes. So, okay, we got 100, 300, 450, 90. Well, should I show it?
Billion.
Check this out.
5,114. Look, I forgot to get my mouse off. Oh, that's your mouse. Okay,
that's
cool.
my mouse. I'm going to move it on and off. You like that?
Look at this.
That's teasing.
We're using NLP on everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is underground, super secret NLP black ops hypnosis designed to make you give us money.
Let's talk about the money though, because that's more important.
Mouse. Okay, yeah. So how much do you think it cost me? Now, I want you to keep in mind now, if I were to build this list by PPC based on the numbers of my current business of the Frank Kern Show, you know, where I'm selling marketing and all that kind of stuff, and my cheapest leads are typically in the $5 per opt-in range. That would have cost me between $25,000 and $40,000 to build a list that high. And I won't make you guess. It cost me, if you would like to advance the slide, ladies and gentlemen, $460.26 for 5,114 ideal prospective clients. So this is actually my email receipt that I found in the Gmail. You gotta love the Gmail there.
Yep.
And what you don't see down at the bottom is, because I couldn't figure out how to put the whole thing on one screen, is you see where it has the demographic data I had in here. You know, it says as estimated household income, $100,000 to $250,000, and then you see the ages. I pulled all those ages, and I also pulled the other stuff such as interest in fitness. So if you would advance, I'll take displaying to you where I've got these folks, because anybody in the good old United States, and probably overseas too, as Richard Spadenko would say, hello America, and other countries that don't matter as much, right? You can probably use this service no matter where you are. It's a little old website that ain't cost nothing to use called Info USA. So I'll kind of walk you through how I did this. So I took these slides yesterday. So the website's probably going to look exactly like this unless they change it on me, you know.
So basically, you're good at pushing buttons. Is that what you're telling us?
You know, no one can push a button like me. I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm fat. I can push buttons, and I can make children in under 20 seconds. Those are my major accomplishments.
You're like you should make a TV show about that. Okay, so you click on the Find Customers Now, and then
no, so it depends on what you're doing, right? So I'm showing you how I did it. If you want to go back, if you guys are using this to find clients for your local business consulting firms, you know, you would click on Find Businesses Now, right? Because you're not selling directly to consumers, you're selling marketing services to businesses. So I'm walking you through really what I did to build my gem list. This is the same exercise you would go through for your customers, because you can actually blow your customer's mind by your client, you know, your local business client, by going, oh, okay, well, describe your perfect company for me. And like when you're in the middle of your sales presentation, you say, okay, hang on a minute, I want to do some research for you. I'll call you right back. And then you go and you say, dude, did you know that there are 5,114 people that meet your exact criteria within 10 miles of your store? You know, you want to talk about how to get in front of them and make them come in and things like that. So anyway, if you're trying to find businesses to sell to, you click on the Find Business button, consumers on the Consumer button, as evidenced by the very subtly placed red arrows. Now, uno mas forward slido. So here's what I did. This is so gangster that instead of me like saying, okay, well, just a 10-mile radius is good enough, you can actually click on that Go to Map button, and it'll actually bring up your street address on there, and you can zoom in. You can actually type in your street address over there in the top left, and it'll zoom into where it is, and you can draw a little territory around the actual physical location of the business. So you're like, I want everybody in this little territory. Which is great, because if you try to do it by zip code and all this, you end up with all this compiled data, and it's not nearly as powerful. Like, you know, I mean, there are certain neighborhoods that I excluded that were within 10 miles of our gym, because I knew there's no way they're going to go anywhere. There's one neighborhood that's primarily occupied by college kids. Like, they're not going to come work out with us. You know, they're too busy partying and not being fat yet, because they're them and their youthful metabolisms that they stole from me. You know?
Yeah, those are they're small aliens that live inside them. They're called little metabolites. That's what I've heard before. They came from Star Trek.
Yes, and they eat beer, and it doesn't even affect the host body. It's the damnedest thing. Worked real good for me until I was about 34. So anyway, you can do that, and that's how you pick out where you want to be. So the next page here, and incidentally, the hardest part about this is drawing the little outline on the map, because sometimes the server like messes up or something. That's the only difficult part of this. And by difficult, I mean it takes you an extra 5 minutes, you know. So I screwed that up a couple times. Like, damn it, I have to redraw it. Something didn't go right.
You know what? You got to get a digital crayon. Those things are a lot more high techified, and you could use that to draw. And I don't think you can go outside the lines quite as easily.
That's it. I think I pressed a button wrong. So now here's where you could start choosing the estimated household income and the ages and even marital status if you want to, which I didn't. You know, it didn't matter to me. Although the majority of our clients that we're seeing coming in are married. So that's interesting. So if I were to do this again, I might specifically go for married people. I don't have really enough data to specifically say that's a better target market. But you never know. Like your clients, whatever they define, you can find here, right? So then if you go to the next page, and you will see how now I found their hobbies and interests. And I clicked both of these buttons. I found that people were interested in dieting and weight loss and general health and exercise. So I clicked both of those under health and diet and fitness. And when I I had me 5,114 people, incidentally, who were getting a big direct mail package from me next week. So once you buy it, this list is yours, you know, and I bought the physical list, because I think that direct mail is significantly more powerful than email when it's used appropriately, right? So you have to do it properly, but in the case of getting people to come to a place of business 10 miles from them, it's a lot better than email. It says it's going to get open, and then you got the spam stuff. I was like, forget it. All right, so
hey, I got one quick thing that David just shared, which is there's a Canadian site called InfoCanada.ca, and it's exactly the same. So I just wanted to, and I texted that to everyone who's on here, InfoCanada.ca, so you can go get lists in Canada as well. Different parts of the world are different because a lot of different countries aren't allowed to collect consumer data. It's kind of sucky, but that's just the way it is.
Who do they think they're talking to?
This is a very marketing friendly country. And one of the questions that Glenn asked is, did you get both physical and email address, or did you just get the physical?
I just bought the physical. I think I got the phone numbers too, which we don't do outbound phone calling or anything. But you can really get just about as much data as you want. Now, I'm weirded out about buying an email list and sending it to people. You know, it's just, I don't know if it's for if it's legal or not, but I don't think it's effective.
That is absolutely true. And there are some services that will mail on your behalf, but generally speaking, those email lists are pretty beat up by the time they get to a broker. So your opt-in and your list conversions are going to be kind of rotten. And honestly, by the time you pay for everything, you're better off with direct mail. That's the bottom line summary, because I've talked to a lot of people who have done the bulk email thing and buying it, legitimate lists, but they will mail on your behalf. That's just an FYI. All right.
Yeah, and incidentally, we're talking about like real brick and mortar business with a high customer value. So if you think about it, our service is $197 a month, and that's $2,400 per year. So we don't have to get that many customers to make direct mail work. And typically local businesses are like that, you know. And if they don't know, if your clients don't know their average customer value, then help them calculate it, and you'll be doing them yet another incredible service, which of course is going to make them like you more and give them even more reasons to want to buy your stuff and continue to retain you and pay you for, you know, helping them get the results they want. So anyway, once you buy the list, you can mail it a gazillion times, right? I've already tested multiple mailings to this list, and it's pretty good. So if we could see Uno Mas Slido. All right, so the first step, number A, is to know who your perfect customer is. So that's the first thing I did. Is I said, all right, I'm going to quit screwing around broadcasting to everybody, and like, who really is going to be our perfect customer? And I decided it was them women's. Incidentally, we didn't start out as exclusive women's only. I noticed that the majority of our clients were women, so I said, wait a minute, there isn't a women's only place here. We'll just make this women only, and if there's a dude that wants to come work out who's a genius, then okay, you know, I can understand, sir, come on in. But so far we only have one, and he really is a brilliant, brilliant man. So step number 2 is to, keeping up with my mafia of the internet marketing cartel image, make them an offer they can't refuse. So let me explain what I mean by that. Por favor. Bing. Next slide, there we go. Okay, so here's the thing about offers. Most local businesses never even make an offer in their marketing at all. Instead, what they do is they put their logo and a slogan or something on a crappy ad as a means to get their name out. Yeah, I mean, how many times have you heard that? You know, like, yeah, we're just trying to get our name out there. It's like, great. You know, how much money is that making you? So if you just help a local business create and market an irresistible offer, you're going to change their world. Because now that people have a reason to call them, and they get customers in the door for a specific thing, you know, and they get a response from their marketing, and then turn those prospects into customers, and that's great. Now, so there's two types of businesses. Well, there's three. The first one's the ones who don't make any offer at all. That's the vast majority of businesses out there that you'll encounter. The second category are the ones who do make an offer, which is usually terrible, and it's the stuff everybody else does. And we tried that, by the way. I'll explain in a minute. And the third category are people who actually make a good offer, and they're very, very few and far between. Right? So here's how you make a good offer. First, I'll tell you about the okay offers we made, so you can learn some stuff that worked, not really worth trying again. So the big thing, and keep in mind, I've never owned a gym before. I mean, look at me. You know, I mean, I'm the guy who was, up until recently, known globally as the Keith Richards of internet marketing. So I realize the irony here with me owning a gym, you know, which is just patently ridiculous. But I enjoy it, and I enjoy fitness and all that kind of stuff. So why not, you know? So anyway, I had no clue what I was doing when it comes to running and marketing a gym. So I said, okay, well, let's see what everybody else is doing and try that. So what you see with gym marketing specifically is they'll advertise, like, come work out with us for, you know, take a 2-week trial for $20 or whatever and enjoy and all that kind of stuff. Well, we ran postcards to our list that I purchased, and it did okay. You know, I got 19 phone calls from 5,000 postcards, and I was moderately satisfied with that result because I was asking for $20 directly from the postcard. So I thought, hell, that's pretty good, you know, really, because postcards aren't the best for response. But it was cheapest and fastest, so I said, what the hell? But then I said, okay, look, if I was going to be my own client, I need to do it like I would teach to do it. So here's how you make a really good offer, an offer they can't refuse. First thing you got to do is, from the customer standpoint, this is the customer of the business you're working with or the customer of your business, you have to understand the ultimate result they're after. So in our case, these are women who want to lose weight, and really more than just lose weight, they want to be healthy, happy, and hot. I call them the 3 H's. That's what these ladies are after. They want to feel good, they want to be healthy and, you know, stop the feeling of aging, and they want to feel hot and attractive to their husbands or to themselves, right? So what we do, and what I always recommend my clients and what I do personally, is you give something away in your ad that actually helps them get closer to their end result, way in advance of asking them for any money at all. And what happens is some of these people who respond to your ad and get the free stuff and get the results will become customers immediately. Others are going to need to be followed up with. And basically, this is a twist in my classic results in advance methodology, which I based mass control and all of my marketing on. Right? So I had to remind myself where I was going with this next slide, so I'll tell you how this results in advance kind of applies to local businesses. So if you would please go forward bravely here. There we go. So the restaurant syndrome. So I've often, and I didn't come up with this idea, by the way, but people, for some reason with restaurants, I get the restaurant question a lot, like how do you fill up a restaurant? So here's what you do to fill up a restaurant, and here's why it's relevant to our conversation. If you want to fill up a restaurant, first of all, you make sure the food is good, obviously, right? Then you identify your perfect customer for the restaurant, and typically it's going to be, you know, within the immediate vicinity, right? So you don't have to drive 20 miles to get to your restaurant or whatever. And then you send your prospects, these people who are your perfect customers, you send them an irresistible offer for free lunch or free dinner. Now, here's why you do that. If the food is good, they'll keep coming back, right? And the reason this is true, and you can prove it to yourself right now, is how many times have you eaten at your favorite restaurant this year? I mean, we're all creatures of habit, right? If we like a restaurant, if we have a good meal there, we're going to go back. And if we keep having good meals there, we're going to keep going back, you know? I just ate at the Inn in Rancho Santa Fe about an hour ago for like the 20 millionth time this year, you know what I mean? So it's kind of the way it goes. Well, the same applies to almost every business you can think of out there, whether it's a CPA accounting firm, a cosmetic dentist, or whatever. If you go into that business and if they move you closer to the result that you're after for free, you are probably going to keep coming back and paying them to get more of the results they're after. So with that said, if we could advance, please, Senior, here is our irresistible offer. Now this is a postcard. It's also a poster. And this is also going into a 5,000-piece mailing that goes out on Saturday along with the sales letter. And the offer, as you can see here, is a free month of sessions. So here's what we learned, right, by doing a little bit of market research. And incidentally, the businesses you're helping probably know all this stuff inherently. I looked at what are going to be the biggest objections as to why someone would not want to come into the gym. Now, aside from them having no interest in being fit, obviously, so we get that out of the way. So assuming they want to be fit, why wouldn't they come in? Well, first is if we send them the old come in for $20 offer, they could care less about the $20, but they know that, you know, the $20 is going to be a trial, and then there's some dickhead's going to try to put the hard clothes on them and all that kind of stuff, and they don't want to do it, right? So that's their biggest objection. So what you want to do is you want to write down all of their objections. We also know, in terms of results, if someone comes into our gym and they come in for a month and they come to work out with us, ideally 3 times a week, but even 2 times a week, they're going to see results. I mean, I'm telling you, it is horrible, the stuff that my wife does to these other women in this gym. I can't believe they would pay for this kind of treatment. I've worked out there one time, and I'll never work out there again. It's horrible. So brutal. I mean, you're just drenched in sweat. I thought I was going to have a heart attack in the freaking place. You know, I got these 50-year-old housewives just laughing at me. I'm like, please stop laughing at me. I'm going to throw up. You know? So, but anyway, if they come, they're going to get results, right? And if they get those results during that first month, of course, they're going to keep coming back because they feel great, right? So we eliminate the objection right there by saying, come in for a free month of sessions, and we eliminate their fear by saying, look, there's no contract, there's no credit card, there's no catch. And then we give them the third pillar. So if you could advance, please. The third pillar is an easy response mechanism and follow-up. So now bring me back to the next slide, not the first one. There we go. So here's the deal. Usually, and this is, again, a gross generalization, you know, but usually people are resistant to pick up the phone and call. Because if they call, well, first of all, like, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but for me, like a phone call now, in the age of texting, a phone call is kind of an unsolicited, like random phone call, is sort of the equivalent of a pop-in, of like showing up at someone's house without calling first now. You know what I mean? I don't know if you feel like that, but for me, it's like, oh, I don't want to call. I'll text first and then I'll call because it's weird to call. So no one really likes to call each other anymore. We're all texting and emailing and stuff. So, and our customers especially, many times, as again a generalization, they don't want to call because they think the person on the other end is going to sell them and hassle them, and they just want some details that they can see for themselves and then, you know, proceed accordingly, right? So, you know, we would say as internet people, well, yeah, that's why we want to send them to a website to opt in, and yeah, that works pretty good, but what about the people who, you know, it's a pain in the ass for them to walk to the computer, remember your website, type it in, and then finally decide to opt in, hoping you're not going to send them Viagra spam, which incidentally, you guys should already have some offers for generic Viagra in your inboxes. I've been taking it right before this webinar. I have to say it's working beautifully. Anyway, so nowadays, as you know, everybody sends text, but the fact of the matter is it's best to give them multiple response mechanisms, including these preferred methods, and especially including these preferred methods like text. So if you go to the next slide here, I'll explain to you, there we go, the logic. Oh, hang on, my screensaver just came on. Get in there. All right, there we go. I'll explain to you the logic of what we did here. So the first thing people do, and the easiest and like most risk-free for them, is to text, right? So we have a little thing where they can text a word to a little short code, and kablam, all the details come to them. Or they can text their name and email address to a phone number, and boom, now they're on our list, and we email them with all the details and everything. Or if they want to call, they can call a local number, and they can leave their name and email address. Now notice, we don't say call to talk to somebody. We specifically say call and leave your email address, your name and email address. This is kind of stolen a little bit from a long time ago. Joe Polish and Jeff Paul and all those direct mail guys discovered that if you put call X number for a free 24-hour recorded message, response would go up because people didn't want to talk to a human. They just wanted to hear the details, right? So this is kind of the modern day age of that thing. Or if they want to get extra fancy, they can scan the QR code. And really, I'm wondering if in this context, with this particular demographic, if putting our website on there might not be more effective, but we'll see, right? So, or they can scan the QR code. So those are 3 ways to respond. All of them are friendly and risk-free to the prospect. You know, so the prospect doesn't have to worry about calling and then getting the hard sale or, you know, doing any of that stuff. They can do hands-off information gathering to then get the offer and then come on in. So if you would take to advance into the next one, Ding, there we go. You can use the same strategies as local business consultants that I'm using for my gym. I think they're applicable not only to get clients for your consulting businesses, but it's also applicable to implement on behalf of your consulting businesses, because really nobody's doing this locally. And when local business owners see this, they think it's awesome. They're like, damn, dude, I want that. That's extremely cool, you know, because they build this list and they can broadcast them and fill up the place, and it's really outstanding. So that's what I'm doing in the gym, and if you emulate what I'm doing in the gym and take the same approach to get customers and to implement similar campaigns for your customers, you know, for your clients' customers, then you'll see some pretty good results.
Yeah, and here's what I'll add is, now I just encourage everyone, this is for real. I'm actually going to give away an Apple TV on this call, and right now, as of right now, it is Thursday at noon o'clock-ish Pacific Standard Time, but if you're watching this at a different time, just know that you can still try this out. It's still live and active, but I'd encourage you either scan the QR code, because one of the things that Gary just asked is our QR code mobile friendly? Our system actually will generate a QR code that will initiate either a direct, just go straight to a website, or call a phone number, or it will initiate an SMS message, which is what I used here. When you scan that, it'll actually bring up a message on your phone that says, replace this text with your name and email address to win a free prize or to enter the free drawing. So what you're looking at is what we call cross-channel lead collection. So you can scan the QR, you can text your name and email address, you can use a short code, call a voice number, or visit a website. And Linda asked, what's been the response with, you know, between the three? And here's what we're finding, and I'll show you in a moment. We're doing this in restaurants right now. We're using it for all different kinds of businesses. Anytime there's traffic anywhere, people over the age of 50 are calling the voice number and listening to a recording and saying their name and email address. Younger people are either texting in or doing the short code, and kind of the gearhead techie types are scanning the QR codes. And if you're wondering how do we know this, it's because when people join Instant Customer and use it, our system actually goes out and automatically researches you. In other words, we buy data from 4 different data sources, and we'll know your age range, your sex. We'll visit your website and learn about you, and also find out what your interests are. So you can see that in near real time. So you actually get to see a demographic, psychographic profile of your prospects as they're joining your list. So when you show this to a business owner, they're like, holy crap. And it's really a big thing. So I don't know if you had anything else to say, Frank, because I'll just kind of walk them through some of this. But, you know, it is an exceptionally powerful strategy. And someone just told me that I have 2 different QR codes on there, and I just realized I may not have replaced one from yesterday. But, okay. Okay, so let's see if there's anything else. Do you have anything else, Frank, about client getting stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So the thing that you want to do if you're in the market to do like local business consulting is, most people that I talk to who do this just like kind of go after everybody. And the thing to do is to choose a niche, and you don't have to be stuck in that niche forever, but in terms of your marketing, choose that niche. And here's how you filter out your prospective niches to determine which ones you think are the best to go after. First of all, when it comes to this type of thing, using these little strategies and so forth, restaurants are great just to go after, you know, and the best way to get restaurants is to send them, well, actually we're going to show you some case studies of other people who have done it, but send them sales letters to get them to have a demo of the system. And really the easiest way to sell this type of stuff is to demonstrate how it works to them, because once someone sees it in action, you're like, oh my God, I want this. This is unbelievable. And then another way to do it is to sell them on the we do it for you thing. So here's the deal. Like, I would have not used the system personally, and I knew Mike had it and everything. The reason I wouldn't have used it is because I was like, man, I don't want to learn how to do that. You know, I just don't want to mess with it, even though now that, you know, I've logged in and looked at it as mindlessly simple, but still, I'm like, shit, I got to run this gym, you know, I got all these clients and stuff. I don't have time to do it. Well, business owners are the same way. So even though it's extremely easy to do, they don't want to learn how to do it, which is great for us because we can just do it for them. So one of the greatest sales strategies that I know is to choose a niche of businesses, right, such as your local area restaurants or chiropractors. Also, another good criteria, by the way, just besides restaurants, because they're notoriously just receptive to this, would be to look at a business whose average customer value is very high. That way, let's say you're charging them $1,000 a month to market and run their campaigns for them, and if their customer value is $3,000, their logic is, shit, all I got to do is get one customer every 90 days, and this is paid for itself. How hard can it be? So anyway, one great way to do this is to put these prospective customers, attract them using the methods I just showed you, right? Sending out like, hey, a free webinar reveals how to get a gazillion customers without doing anything. Text to this number, leave your voicemail here, go to this website. Here are your 4 channels by which you can subscribe and get your information. Get them on the webinar, and then educate them on how to do this, and then offer to do it for them. Because every business is going to be like, yeah, this definitely is cool, this definitely works. I wish, and the next thing they're going to have happen in their mind is going to be, I wish someone would just do this for me, because there's no possible way I'm going to do it for myself. And that's where you come in. You're like, at the end of your webinar, you say, okay, well, and here's the close, actually, that you use. You say, listen, I'm wondering if you guys think that if you implemented all of these strategies I shared with you today, that you would see some growth in your business and you'd see even better response from your customers. And do you think if you had a list of prospects that you could broadcast offers to on demand, your business would increase? And most people are going to say yes. And then the next part of your close is, well, you know what, you're right. I mean, most of the time it almost always works, unless you do something wrong. But here's the problem a lot of people have run into is that, let's say you're on a webinar with just chiropractors, or you're speaking to a group of chiropractors, even one chiropractor, doesn't matter. You can say, well, the problem is you're in the chiropractic business, and your talent and your gift is helping people get out of pain in their backs and helping them heal their bodies, not running technical marketing campaigns. So if you would like, I would be willing to do all of this work for you and set it up for you. Is that something you'd be interested in? And then the next logical thing that they ask is, well, maybe how much does it cost? And then you go, I mean, the best thing to say really is, well, in my opinion, it doesn't cost anything, because this should more than cover itself. Let me ask you, Dr. Jones, what is the average patient value for your clinic? He says, well, the average patient is worth between $6,000 and $36,000 per year for my practice. And you say, well, that's really great, because my service is a one-time setup fee of X, and it's X per month, and I manage all of this stuff for you, and help you implement everything, so you don't have to worry about it. And if X per month is less than the value of one client, then it's a no-brainer. So there's no need to really capture it. But that's just one approach for me. We've actually got multiple case studies how other people are getting clients that we can show to you in this very webinar right now.
Fantastic. All right. So, well, I'll give you another chance to enter if you haven't done it already to win the Apple TV. But I have a little quiz for everyone, and if you were here yesterday, we'll be covering some of the same stuff, although we'll be reviewing and I'll be answering questions as well. I'm getting a lot of great questions here. So here's the first question. Glenn already guessed it, but how quickly do leads convert if you respond in 5 minutes or less? This is according to an MIT study, so go ahead and type that in. And and what you do is, well, let me tell you what it is. So the whole point of what Frank was just sharing with you and why this strategy works so well, and the strategy I just showed you for lead generation, is if you're capturing lead and you're following up, even if it's automated instantly, people are going to be impressed with it. And the biggest challenge I see in small business clients when I was working as a consultant for small businesses, as well as in my own, I mean, literally every business in the world has the same problem, which is they don't follow up. They go to live events, trade shows, expos, they're doing direct response marketing, whatever it is, they just don't follow up quickly. And if you're looking at working with a business like an HVAC or a plumber, for example, or anything that someone is calling up and they're interested right now in getting someone to sign them up, and they're not there, or they're not responding, or they don't have some sort of automation, that sale's lost. But the same is true for a lot of businesses. So we've been using this with real estate, for example, where people are texting and actually going to a form like this one here, and I'll actually show you one a little bit later, but it'll basically, on the form will say, text your name and email address for a virtual tour of this home right now, and it actually sends them a video. Bam! We're talking about people are responding and saying, I'm interested in checking this thing out, give me a call right away. But I would argue that it works for virtually any business. So what I'm going to show you right now are some of the biggest and the fastest money-making strategies that I've been looking at and seeing amongst our clients and our customers who are using our tools. I think the important line here is whoever has the biggest, most responsive list seems, in my opinion, to make the most money, which is, yes, it's about building trust, but it's also about your responsiveness and the interaction. So I'm going to share with you one strategy because someone was asking earlier, where do I find X kind of a leads? If I'm trying to do B2B, for example, where can I get some great leads? So I'm going to share with you a really great lead source that you already have in your house that you can prove it's a good indicator of people who are spending money, who are making money. So here's what it is. Diego went from losing his job to generating $5,000 in 5 days. And what he did is he used our system. We actually have some scripts for this, and we have the model inside the system. But basically, he made a DVD, and he sent a letter. And what he did is he mailed them out to 50 different businesses. And he mailed them at 5 o'clock on a Wednesday, literally just barely made the post office, and he got his first call at 11 o'clock a.m. Thursday, and before lunch he actually got 3 calls. So he mailed out to 50 people. The mailing cost him less than $3 per envelope, DVD, letter, and a sticker. So the first question is, how did that work? Why did he get the response? Well, the first thing is, now he could have just as well used Info USA or the SRDS, but he had his daughter thumb through the yellow pages in the HVAC section, so the heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and found anyone who had a half-page or larger ad. His 11-year-old entered in the physical addresses of each one of those shops. And then, in his envelope, here's his double response rate secret. He put the sticker that said time-sensitive material. This package was also sent to all your local competitors. Now, Frank wrote me as soon as he saw this. And by the way, just for the record, the reason why it works so well and what Diego knows about his customers is they're highly competitive and they want to be number one in their industry. So the fear and the scarcity is a very effective way to get a small business owner to respond. But Frank saw the sticker, and I whipped up kind of a model. But Frank, do you want to explain why this works so well?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a font out there that I use in my mailings. As a matter of fact, the mailing that's going out on Saturday is using this font. This is the mail that's going out to my gym list, sending the offer that you saw along with a sales letter. Usually, and this is again another gross generalization here, so just with that caveat, the small business owner is oftentimes going to be male, and oftentimes that person is going to have a gatekeeper, depending on the niche you're going after. I started implementing this when I was soliciting, chiropractors. So Dr. Jones has got the person who goes through the mail and keeps the evil salespeople away from him. So what I did was, we mail stuff out, and still do, on plain number 10 white envelopes with using this font, which is called Jessica, which looks like girl handwriting. And the address is written on the front. The return address doesn't have a name, just has a street address. It's first-class mail with a real stamp, and on the back of it, it says personal. And what happens is the gatekeeper gets it and is like, Dr. Jones got a letter from what appears to be a girl, and it says personal on it. I ain't touching this. I'm giving it to him. And then Dr. Jones gets it, and he's like, what the hell is this? And then he opens it up. And then you have just overcome one of the biggest obstacles to success in direct mail, which is not getting the damn thing open and read, because I think it's junk mail. So once you get it open and read, a lot of your work is already done. So that's how I improve on that thing. The inclusion of the handwritten font is significantly more effective. And actually, if he took that, instead of handwriting time-sensitive material on the back, if he made the sticker handwritten, instead it was still a sticker, and it was put on there kind of crooked, and it said time-sensitive material, it would probably bump response even more.
Killer. All right. So I'm getting some great questions, by the way. These are awesome. So next one. Okay, so someone was asking, how did he make the DVD? You just look for DVD duplicators. They're all over the place, and they charge you $2 a DVD. So the bottom line is what happened with Diego. I'll just show you. So that was his first check he got, and you can actually see the date here. It was 6/16/2011, less than a year ago. And then within 8 months, he's right now his typical client is paying him between $15,000 and $45,000. And just so I know everyone's asking, what's he doing for him? He's basically doing mobile campaigns, just like the one we just showed you, what Frank's doing, as well as doing simple video marketing campaigns for his clients using our tools. So he's essentially created a little agency. And he started out, literally just lost his job, and he started using our tools and replicating them. So I'll tell you more about that in a bit. Now there's another really good case study here. It's a woman, her name is Kristen Moore, and she used a really, really simple strategy to build a list of 520 buyers in 2 days, and out of that 300, actually over 300, spent $300 on a gymnastics class. And this whole campaign I'm about to show you took her 4 hours to do, and that included learning the system. So the way the story goes here, she handed out little 3-part flyers about a year ago at a live event, and it was moms and dads who were at a gymnastics discovery event. So it's just a bunch of people learning about why gymnastics are good to send your kids to these things. So a year ago, after handing out all these flyers, she had one sign up for $300 for a summer gymnastics class. But this year she did essentially the same thing that Frank was just showing you, which she made these signs in PowerPoint. And she just used little templates that we provide, but these are just like, just grab pictures and put some text on this thing, printed them up at Kinko's, just like Frank is doing. And so they had posters at this live event, and she also had 3-part flyers and little handouts, and you could scan the QR code, or you could text your name and email address to win. And what ended up happening is over those 2 days, she built a list of 520 people. Now, after the event, what she did is she started sending out emails, one a day for 5 days, saying in 5 days we're opening up registration for the live event. Stand by. So it's basically 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and they were on a VIP registration list. She said you'll have 24 hours to register before the general public. Well, the bottom line is, in 2 weeks, she sold 300 people the $300 class. That was $90,000. And by the end of a month, she generated $100,000. So, and again, if you think about it, out of the 520 people, 300 buyers is phenomenal. But it just goes to show how important and valuable it is as a business owner to get in front of a hungry audience. And when we talk about in the past, everyone's like, well, SEO is what it's all about, or pay-per-click. And I've come full circle because over the past about year and a half since I've really gotten into mobile marketing, the value of being able to capture leads in real time in any environment using what we call cross-channel marketing, the value of those leads is so much higher than what I typically get online or from any other source. And what's cool about this is since doing this, Kristen now is getting calls from other gymnastics studios, and she can literally copy her campaign that she built and charge someone as much as $3,500, and it only takes her an hour to set it up. So I'll give you another example.
That right there is one of them non-typical results, is what it is.
Yes, thank you for doing that. Appreciate that. Yep. So here's another one. So the quick backstory, I had an opportunity to speak at a Tony Robbins event. It's called Business Mastery. All the people who are there spent $10,000 each to be in the room. So they also spent an additional $1,200, $1,200 for 3 breakfast breakouts. I was one of the breakfast breakouts. So you can see the crowd here. And what I did is I spoke, and I actually just demonstrated what I'm showing you right now. I did the exact same thing, except I gave away $100 from stage along with 3 t-shirts and some other gift. So I said, and I handed out a little piece of paper out to the audience, and I said, I am going to show you right now how you can use mobile marketing to capture leads and convert more of those leads into buyers than any other method, and make sure you'll never let another lead slip through the cracks. This is the biggest pain point virtually every small business owner has, which is they know they're not following up well. So I said, pull out your mobile phones, scan the QR code, text your name and email address, or use the short code, or even visit the little website. And out of 202 people that were in the room, I got a list of 224 people. Okay, so how in the hell did I get 224 people if there are only 202 in the room? It's because people walked outside of the room and showed my piece of paper to other people at the event. So besides building that super valuable list of 227 people who had spent $10 or $11,200 to be there, 175 of them gave me their credit cards and became my customers that very same day because they wanted it. So one of the strategies that a lot of our small business marketing consultants do is they just go to meetups, they go to small business events, and this is what they call their magic trick. And they wear a badge that says, ask me to show you a magic trick. And that's the magic trick. It says text your name and email address and see what happens next. And the system literally follows up with them immediately. So here's another super powerful one. This is Jessica Brace. I actually met her at that Tony Robbins event. And when I met her, she was working crew. She was working there, just donating her time to be there. And one of my customers actually coached her and worked with her a little bit. His name is Jimmy Harding. And he helped Jessica along and created and worked with her on a brilliant strategy she takes to expos and trade shows. And what she does is drops business cards that look exactly, this is her business card, drops them in the fishbowl at little expos. So anyone who's collecting business cards, and she talks to these business owners and says, what are you going to do? How are you going to follow up with people? And what they end up doing is they end up saying, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm terrible at following up. And she said, let me show you right now how my system can follow up for you, and I can actually set up a campaign for you right now. And she can literally set up a campaign just like the one that Frank's using, the one I've shown you, in under an hour. Once you do it a couple of times, it takes you less than 15 minutes. But the bottom line is she walked out of that conference that day with 11 new customers, and there were only 44 vendors there. So, and they were paying her between $300 and $500 for a setup fee and $300 to $500 per month after that, and she only had to set up the campaign once. After that, she's getting paid on continuity. So she ended up doing that, and she ended up picking up some other clients as well, but that's how she went from $0 to $33,000, and as Frank would say, results not typical. I will only tell you that when you demonstrate this to a business owner, they want it. And some of my customers are charging anywhere from $300 to $5,000 to set up these campaigns, and they're getting anywhere from $100 to $1,500 per month on continuity, just working with businesses on their automated follow-up systems. And then they're also doing Google Places and stuff like that. And Jack says, "Wow!" So, Joseph is asking, would this work in Greece? I can, maybe when we get done, I can do a quick demonstration and show you the system and just show you how it works. But know that we have exchanges in 35 different countries right now. And Shane was asking if I could do that. So, okay. Next one here. Chris. This is a guy who did this with real estate. His name is Chris Bowl. If you've seen these before, these are called bandit signs, and a bandit sign is a little yellow sign. You can find people who will print these out and distribute them for you on Craigslist. Chris paid a guy $400 to have 100 of them designed and printed and delivered for him. They literally drove around and put them in various places in the Tempe area. So at the time he did this, Tempe's real estate was very poor. It's actually picked up in the past couple months, but the average home was sitting on the market for about 6 months. Okay, so here's what he did. He did what we call a house launch, a pick your price house launch, which essentially was people were finding this flyer or texting their name and email address and finding out that there was going to be a virtual tour of 1 to 5 homes. And when you text it in, it would send you this flyer and some information, and then it would encourage you to actually text in your price, either after you went to see the home or right as soon as you got the virtual tour. So here's what happened. Here's the first house, and these are actual records that I got from Chris. So this is one of the houses that sold 15 days after the event, and remember, the other houses were hanging on the market for 6 months. Here's one where after this event, that house sold for 13 days, or in 13 days for cash. And then here's another one where the house had been on the market for 6 weeks, but it sold for cash 2 weeks after the event. So I had two other examples as well, but the whole point is he ended up getting over 120 prospective house buyers to join that little list, and got them to show up, see the house, and pick their price, because this whole thing was interactive. All right. So you can stop me at any time, Frank, if you've got any colorful content here.
I do have some colorful content. I mean, here's what I would immediately do, because, you know, realtors are buyers, really. I mean, there are a lot of people, I don't know, a lot. I mean, there's a good amount of people, though, in the marketing space who sell marketing stuff to realtors successfully. I have some clients and some dear friends in that business, and they're all multi-million-dollar per year businesses. I think it would be really crazy not to immediately model Diego's approach and send a DVD plus sales letter out to the realtors with the biggest Yellow Pages ads, and try to get a couple of them as clients, and specifically charge them like $800 for the bandit signs, and then pay the Craigslist guy the $400 so you never touch a bandit sign, and set up the campaign for them, and offer to do that kind of thing for them. You know, run multiple campaigns for them on a monthly basis for however much they think it's worth. You know, I mean, I would charge personally probably upwards of $1,000 for that. That's just my gut reaction. I'm certainly not telling anyone what to set their prices at or something, but I think that's a tremendous opportunity, and it clearly works. So the way to find clients is, one, look for people who are proven buyers. Well, we know the real estate guys are proven buyers, because if you just Google real estate marketing, you'll see there's a ton of people that sell real estate marketing stuff to realtors, incidentally potential JV partners nationally, And then two, you want to look for people who have a very high customer value. Well, I don't remember what the average commission is for a house sold in the United States, which is really irrelevant, because you need to find the data for the market you're serving specifically.
It's like $3,500 to $7,000, I think, if I remember correctly.
So let's take the low end, which is $3,500. So that low end per house sold easily justifies a premium price along with premium service, doing a really good job, not just jacking up the price to be an asshole, but going the extra mile to really help them, for the realtor to spend, and if you think, okay, well, what if I charge, just hypothetically, what if I charge, $2,000 or something a month to really, really do this realtor right, and included, 2 bandit sign runs, so that's going to, you're going to have like now $2,200, $1,200 net in there, Well, good Lord, if you wanted to generate $1 million a year in revenue, if you're charging $2,000 a month, that's only 42 clients that you need, and that's $84,000 per month, which is just shy, or just a little bit more rather than $1 million. Now, again, I'm certainly not making a typicality claim. I'm just saying, look, when someone does something successfully, if it works one time, it's worth testing on a grander scale. So I always think scalability. I look at these dudes, I'm like, well, shit, why not just do that nationally immediately for, select markets that have really high home prices, like New York. I mean, could you imagine, do you guys ever watch $1 Million Listings New York on whatever it is, Bravo or something? I'm totally hooked on that show. I'm embarrassed to admit that, and the Kardashians we watch religiously. But anyway, those dudes would buy the shit out of this, and they would benefit from it greatly. So if you look at where is that really highly competitive markets, what are industries where the average transaction is going to net a large profit for the business owner, it's almost a no-brainer to go pursue those markets. It's just silly not to. Why wouldn't someone go immediately do that? Like this dude who is the realtor, I would immediately stop being a realtor if I were him and start selling to realtors exclusively, because we know they buy and they make a lot of money when houses are sold. And this helps sell houses, as demonstrated quite clearly by this case study.
Yep. Yeah, and one of the questions that Judy just asked is, would your real estate guy want to consult with others? And the answer is they're in our membership site. They're in our community. So you can actually model. We actually give you these templates. You can model them and borrow them and go out and basically take them. You can charge whatever you want to your clients. We show you how to get customers, how to sell to them, how to convert them, and you can actually communicate with, we've got right now hundreds of people in our new community already who are just sharing best practices and what's working and how much they're making. I mean, that's all part of the deal. So, and I'll get that I'll get to that in a moment. So here's another one. This guy, George Thompson, was selling mobile phones a year ago. He lost his job. He's got 4 kids, and he ended up delivering pizzas part-time for Papa John's. But he ended up putting together a campaign just like the one I showed you. The same thing I showed you that Frank's using. Handed out flyers, built a list of 1,000 names in a couple of weeks, and started promoting offers for discounts at Papa John's and little special offers like buy one, get one free, or get free soda when you come in tonight. In fact, one night, the freezer broke at Papa John's, and the state law says if you don't have your freezer fixed within 1 hour, you have to throw away all the dough. So they got hold of George. He sent out a mobile text message for a broken freezer sale. Call and buy one, get one free. They sold out all their pizza that night and quintupled their sales. So all in, because they were able to respond on demand. When you've got mobile phone numbers, you can send out a coupon literally in 3 minutes. So the place was packed. So here's another example. Susan Merlot, she does this with restaurants. And we have a whole bunch of people doing it for restaurants. On the way in or the way out, text your name and email address. You're going to get special discounts. They get pushed out. So she's charging anywhere from $500 to $1,500 up front to each restaurant, and anywhere from $300 all the way up to $1,000 a month to support them and just consult with them. She talks to them once a month and asks them what kind of offers or specials do you want to push out. But and again, nothing more than that little flyer I was showing you, and we give you all these templates. Now here's another one. The same guy, George Thompson, who did the Papa John's franchise, he works with a local hockey team in Knoxville, Tennessee. So one night, they put up on the scoreboard, and the announcer said, text your name and email address to win free prizes. They captured over 700 leads in 30 minutes, gave away some prizes, and then now these guys own the list. So when they're going out and talking to new clients, they're like, hey, I've already got a list of local people who we can promote your offers to. And so they're able to leverage that over and over again. And remember, the money's in the list. This is another brilliant one. A guy named Jimmy Harding. He used Frank's 4-day cash machine. It's called a reactivation campaign. And basically what he did is he contacted an ice machine manufacturer. So if you're looking, again, you're asking that question, well, what kind of businesses should I go after? Who's got the money? This is a perfect one, an ice machine manufacturer. They're selling products for $10,000 to $250,000 each, and every month you're supposed to replace the filters. Problem is, a lot of people either don't replace the filters or they don't remember that they should. So what happened here is Jimmy went to the owner and said, I would like to make you a bunch of money, and I'll only charge you a $1,000 setup fee, but pay me 10% of what I bring in for you, and I can make you a bunch of money. There's no risk. The guy said yes, and here's what happened. They mailed out what Jimmy calls the 7-day cash machine, which is basically like the 4-day cash machine. It was a 50% off sale to sign up to get the water filter for the ice machine every month at a discount. And the net result is he generated $245,385 in sales, and Jimmy got 10% of that. So he made almost $25,000 for 4 hours of work. I don't know about you, but that's a damn good day in the office, honey.
Also,
results not typical.
Not even remotely.
No. Yeah. Probably will never happen in a million years to you. Especially if you don't do anything. You don't take advantage of this special offer. How do you like that? All right. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it's just a setup. But here's another one. Okay, so this is an unbelievably good idea. Again, everyone's asking, what kind of businesses should I go after? Businesses that sell expensive stuff, and if they're not using mobile marketing, if they're not capturing leads and following up immediately, they are a perfect customer. Here's an example: garage condominiums. These things cost $80,000 to $160,000 each. And they're for people with disposable income who have classic cars and boats and RVs. If you look at the little picture in the background, so what they did is they typically would go to small events and expos and trade shows. And if they got 100 leads at each event, they were happy. Well, this year they gave away a free hot rod grill. That's what you see on the left. It's like a big 350 cubic inch V8 but its guts are pulled out, and it's a grill now. So you lift it up and you grill your steaks and so on and so forth. Not for vegetarians. Anyway,
Motor oil.
scan your QR code. I got to get me one of those. Yeah, exactly. That's you burn more motor oil with your meat. It tastes great. Just kidding. So anyway, some of the women, not the ones you see there, were wearing T-shirts. Some of them have, I mean, I've seen people put QR codes on their butts. Okay, so it's check me out, is what the sign says on the back. Or scan me, or scan this. I've seen that happen in some booths already. In this particular instance, not. But scan the QR code, text your name and email address, check out the results. Okay, this is a snapshot from the system. So they got, at 2 events, 1,444 leads. Okay, and that's over 2 events. Remember I said they would have been happy if they would have gotten 100 at each one. But here's what's really interesting. When they texted in, the system asked them, what will you put inside your garage condominium? Okay, so it actually did a 2-way text, and that way they knew that the prospects were engaged. Well, what wound up happening is when they followed up with these people, they found that 140 of them were interested in leaving a deposit. So that equated into what they estimated conservatively at $14 million in sales just from those 2 events. So when you ask, what kind of clients do you go after? We give you a list of the top 50 to go after, but it's built inside, part of our community talks all the time about what kind of clients they're going after that's generating the most money. Okay? So Edie's asking, where do you get QR codes? Our system makes the QR codes. It makes unlimited QR codes. I'll give you one other example. This is the free recorded message. We put this on our package when we distribute our best of box, for example. So it's before you open up the box, I actually made a video of a tour of the best of box so people can scan the QR code, call, or visit a little web page. So, again, free recorded messages, and we allow you to have unlimited length free recorded messages that people can listen to. I'll give you one last nugget. This is brand new. This is from Brendan, and it's a concept called building a buyer's list. It's the most powerful marketing strategy I use right now to get really, really good lists. And here's how it works. If you saw Brendan's last promotion for the Millionaire Messenger, so his first book, he had a button that says order on Amazon now, and when you forward the receipt, it actually goes into Instant Customer, and it grabs the physical address, the email address, and the phone number from the buyer. And he did the same thing with his book, The Charge. So our system has what we call a receipt scraper, which means that if someone buys something and you scrape the receipt, you're getting the address and the phone number and the email address of a buyer. So when Brendan puts those people through his sales funnel, his conversion rates are incredibly high. And I've been using this strategy for years because I actually do promotions with different authors like Tim Ferriss. I've done it with Harvey Mackay. And every time someone buys their book and forwards the receipt to me, I give them some bonuses, but I get the buyer's list. It's really, really powerful. So the whole point of this strategy is when you capture buyers' names, it's very, very profitable. So let's see. I'll pass these. These are just checks from some of our customers here. I forgot to take those out yesterday. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you one last chance to opt in, and then we're going to do the drawing in a moment. I'll just reveal the package. And I know you've got to get going in a couple minutes, Frank. So if you need to split, just say something, okay?
I do, yeah. Well, I want to see who wins.
Okay, all right. So here's what we're going to do. Someone, there we go. And here's what I'll do. I'm going to log into the system here. I'm actually already logged in. So this is the free gifts, and I'm in Instant Customer. This is the system that does the work. And you can see right now we have 654 subscribers. I'm going to click on that link, and I'm going to click on a button that says Raffle right now. So I can put in here a date range, okay? So if I put in today's date, as of right now, I'll make sure that it's only people who are on the call with us right now. So it would be 2012, right? 2012. And then the month is June, so that's 06, right? And today's date is the 7th, 07, okay? 07. and that way it's just for today. And I'm going to say, show us the winners. I'm going to have to show the email so I can do this. So I'm going to click on Process Raffle, click on Select Winners, and we got Magic is our winner. Okay, so whoever Magic is, I'm going to click on the Notify Winners button, which sends a notification to Magic. And if you're Magic, just say it's me. And I'm going to look at your profile in a second. I'm going to click on Export, and I sent myself the winners. Okay, so the bottom line is what Instant Customer actually does is it will do these live drawings for free. And I know that Magic lives
Ooh, look,
in...
we got people's numbers.
Oops, let me hide that.
Oh my God, look at there.
Yep, I'm going to hide that. So
No, wait, let's email those two people Viagra spam.
I'll make sure that gets muted out in the replay. I know that he's in Chicago, Illinois. I've got his address here because he responded, and I actually know it's Paul Schreiner. Is that Paul you're on? And anyway, so Paul won the Apple TV today. How do you like them apples?
I think Paul likes them better than I do. He won himself one of them Apple TVs. I was up until midnight last night watching The True Blood.
Oh, yeah. That's a great show, man. All right, so that little strategy I just showed you.
Hey, Paul got it. Paul says I'm loving it. Sweet.
All right.
I see him. My man.
Cool. All right.
Cool.
So here's what's important about this. Also, awesome. All right. So this one thing. If all you did is went to local businesses and said, "I will help you build lists of prospects and do automated drawings and capture leads and do mailings for you and promote your products and services," it is like, well, I can't say free money. It is this. We have clients who this is their whole business now. Now, they're still doing video marketing. They're still doing traffic geyser marketing. They're still doing Google Places and stuff like that. But this is the easiest stuff to go out and promote and market. So what I'm going to do here, I'll give you the quick cascade. I know you've got to leave at any time here, Frank. So just feel free. And there we go. David's saying, "This is freaking unbelievable. You're blowing me away with this." Okay? And I'll tell you about the system, and you can go at any time. You can either call the number that's on the screen to get it. I still have some of these best of boxes left, or visit instantcustomerrevolution.com/Frank. And Frank's got some killer bonuses he's going to give you, and looks like I'll walk through those. But this is the system that solves virtually any problem that they have, which is just they don't have time. They need help getting customers. Okay, when you get right down to it, they either want visibility online, they need traffic, or they just need a list of customers and they need help following up. And you can become the go-to person. And what we've done is created what I believe is the simplest, easiest system that's out there to help you become the go-to person, become a highly paid marketing professional to do this for other people. And we put it all in a simple 9-module course for you. So it's broken down into the first strategy, which is where to get free leads, how to get your foot in the door, and how to close your first deals. And are the first modules already in the system ready for you. Okay. The next system helps you get your first 4-figure client. And these are the same strategies that Diego's using and all the other people that I shared those case studies with you. These are the strategies they're using. So we give you order forms, we give you contracts, we give you step-by-step guides, and they're short, simple, hold-you-by-the-hands videos that guide you through how to do this. Now, one of the other questions we get all the time is, well, I don't want to learn the technical stuff, or can I find someone who will outsource it for me? So we've got an outsourcing module. And because we've got this set up, we show you how to get people who will do video for you, designers, writers, and talent. And you don't have to hire them. You can do them completely on contract. And we even give you the contracts that they can sign to protect you. And this will work anywhere in the world. We also show you how to get outsourced salespeople who will work for commission only, where to find them, how to get them so they're already trained and go out and sell for you. That's what that Jessica Brace is doing with her Ditch the Fishbowl strategy now. She's not even going out and meeting with people because she's got commission-only salespeople. And then she's charging like $500, so she's paying the salesperson $150 to get the client, and it's only costing her about $15 to have her outsourced person set up the campaign, and she's keeping the rest of the money. We show you how to do that. We also show you how to do video and social media marketing. That's what this module is. And we guide you through what we've found of 18 different streams of revenue. So the mobile marketing, the video marketing are one of them, but we've got 16 other ones. And then we give you mentoring webinars. Every other week, we're on webinars guiding you and holding you by the hands, showing you what to do and how to do it. And we're giving you the best strategies and techniques that are making our clients money right now. Okay? There's also a community, because one of the questions that got asked is, well, is there someone who can answer my question about real estate? Is there someone who can help me find the most profitable business types to focus on? That's why we've got the community. Everyone's in there sharing. They're very abundance-minded people from all over the world. We've got people from South Africa. I know someone's on here. We've got people in Greece on here. We're representing right now 63 different countries. All right, next one. We have 2 live event tickets. So on September 21st through 23rd is our next live event. If you can't make it to that one, it's being recorded and put inside the membership site, or you can come to the next one. But this is where we've got great networking and partnerships, and we have real people on the ground making money who are doing the training in addition to myself and my team. And Frank has agreed to be our keynote speaker this year. And if he's still on, I decided to call him Franklin Delano Rosenkern today. I think he must have left.
I just jumped back on.
Oh, you did? All right. I hope you don't mind if I...
You.
Isn't that nice? I grabbed a different picture, too.
Yeah, well, that was just delightful. So I've probably got like another 2 minutes. I figured I would jump back on.
All right.
One of the 2 adults in the family is running late. And it's
all right. Fantastic.
Who it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And just so you know, the whole, part of the reason why I'm so excited Frank's involved is because he's using the system now. And he's been watching me, put this thing together over the past 3 years, sometimes rolling his eyes, sometimes going, I don't know if I get this thing, but it's finally come to fruition. And I've spent $3.5 million building this damn thing, so it's about time. We also have our virtual live event. And that's taking place in July, where, again, it's like a little mini event, but you can watch it from your computer, some additional mentoring and Q&A. We've got a certification program. So we put you inside our Certified Professional Directory, and that's where my clients can find you and determine if they want to work with you as well. So it's an opportunity to spread the word and get the word out about you doing this for other businesses. Okay? We include Instant Customer Agency. This is our software platform that does email marketing, mobile text marketing, voicemail marketing, and we're also just about to release full integration with Salesforce.com, Infusionsoft, Aweber, Sendout Cards, and a whole bunch of other systems like Kajabi. We built in support for that. So what this is, just so everyone's asking me, what exactly is Instant Customer? Think of it like the ultimate autoresponder on steroids, except it sends out messages to emails, mobile texts, voicemails, and it also does automated teleseminars and webinars. So if you're spending money on all those things right now, you can basically get rid of all of them. There's just one tool that does it all, but it's totally integrated. And it does QR codes. You can create as many QR codes as you want. It creates web pages for you. It follows up, and you don't have to know HTML. You don't have to do any technical stuff. It's all just click and easy. All right, and we built in 60 pre-made campaigns for you that you can use for your business or as many businesses as you want. And I'm going to show you. Alden's asking, does it work in other countries? And what I can tell you is, yes, it does, and I'll actually show you that when I get through the cascade here, that we support right now 35 different country exchange codes, including now we have India and China support. Okay, we also include Traffic Geyser, the latest version. It's called the Agency Edition, that'll let you create up to 1,000 websites for as many as 1,000 customers if you want, and submit up to 50,000 videos or articles a month. And what that allows you to do, then you can charge your client whatever you want. You can keep the money, but we're doing all the hosting for you, and all the web page building stuff is all built in addition to video submission to get you traffic. And this is super cool. This is called our Best of box. So over the past 3.5 years, we've produced Firepower, Main Street Marketing Machines, Social Media Marketing Machines, Main Street Fusion, and Cross-Channel Mojo. This is all of our systems all in one box. It's a physical product that gets shipped to your home or office. 14 DVDs, almost 500 pages of contracts, step-by-step guides. We've got pre-written special reports for you, giveaway guides for a large variety of different business types, including chiropractors, dentists, doctors, etc., etc. So we help you figure out what the best businesses that will pay you the most money, what they are, and they're all inside the Best of box. And we only have a few copies of this left because we did a run of 750 units. All right, so that's the summary, and I'll show you the price here in a second. It's only $19.97, and we do have payment options. And again, I'm going to repeat, you don't have to do all the work. You can charge as much as you want and keep all the money. And then we've got a bonus from Frank I'm going to show you in a second. So what you get with this is 5 months of Traffic Geyser and Instant Customer Agency Edition. Right now, when I got up this morning, there were 18 copies of the Best of box left in the warehouse before you have to go and manufacture more. So if you order right now, you're going to get one rushed out to you. Again, we've got payment programs available, and you can see them all at instantcustomerrevolution.com/Frank or call the phone number. And then if Frank's still here, Frank's got some awesome bonuses for you too. You still there, or did you split? I think he left, so I'll describe them here. So he's including, besides coming and doing the keynote speech at the live event in September, he's going to give you list control, mind control, and video black box. And they're super cool. If you're not familiar with them, they complement this really well, which is how to build lists and how to create interesting offers that get people to opt in. Mind control is a mindset program, so it's, one of the things that got asked is how do I get past, if I'm in a space right now where I don't know how to succeed, I don't know how to take action. That's why he's got mind control. It's a really, really cool guide. And then Video Black Box is Frank talking about all the things that he's been doing as he's been creating videos himself and with other people, and what his psychology is behind those too. So it's a really, really cool deal. And he's including those as a special bonus. So as soon as you order the program, we've forwarded all of the receipts right to Frank as soon as you order, so he's going to fulfill the bonuses for you. And I know one of the questions that came up is, what's going to happen. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take as much time as we need to answer your question. And Glenn just said, yes, mind control equals personal mindset for entrepreneurial success. And Stu asks, are Frank's bonuses physical products? They're actually digital, so you'll get instant access to those. And Condit asks, and this is a great question, can you guys see our leads? No, we don't see your leads. We're just like Aweber or Infusionsoft. We never touch your leads. Those are your leads. You can export them. You own them. We never look at it. No one's out there spying on your data. Okay. So Shane asks, would Instant Customer replace Office Autopilot? Yes. What Instant Customer does that no one else does is it sends emails, mobile texts, voicemails, and let's see here. What else? Okay. Okay. And I'm going to show you. Linda's asking, what countries do we support? So what I'm going to show you right now is I'm actually going to go into the system really fast and log in. I'll actually just show you my campaign, or actually my system. So here you can see this is my campaign right now, and it says that I've got 107,000 subscribers. But if I were going to go in here right now and add a new phone number to the system, I just clicked on a link, and I'll zoom in on that, and I'll show you the phone interface when we actually create a new local number. So I'm going to click on Add New Local Number, and we support toll-free and local numbers. So what's cool about this is if you're in outside of the U.S., you can grab a United States phone number. So here are all the countries we support, and I'll read them off to you so you hear them. So we have Canada, Argentina, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Brazil, Chile, Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Portugal, Hong Kong, Ireland, Israel, Italy, Japan, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Mexico, Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Panama, Peru, Poland, Senegal, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, and the UK. Now, we're adding new countries all the time, so if your country isn't added, we're working our butts off trying to get them, but sometimes it's just a matter of working inside with these different countries, because everyone's different. But I'm going to just show you right now. You can allocate your own area code, or you can do what's known as a vanity number. So if I wanted an 858 area code, for example, I just type in 858, click on my little search button, and the system will show me all the numbers that are available right here that I can allocate. So that's an example. I could allocate that, and then that phone number works for voice, voicemail, and mobile text. Okay? And I could also, if I wanted to, find a vanity number. So if, for example, I was I don't know if this will, I'm going to type in beef, for example. If I wanted a phone number that had the word beef in it, I'll see if there's one available. Maybe I'm a beef packer. Well, here they are. I've got, I could take 831-377 beef. Okay? So we have this capability. You can use this for different businesses. But what's cool is you can allocate numbers, and the cost per number is usually a couple of dollars per month. So a lot of questions about, no, we do not do payment processing. We integrate with other ones. So the question is, where do we get our numbers from? We have relationships with carriers all over the world. Okay? But we do not have a shopping cart. Okay? Now I'm going to also show you, so yes, we have QR codes. I'll show you that example right now. I'm going to click on this link that says QR codes, and if I click on this link that says create a short code, I can create a redirect here. Let me just, I'm actually going to go into one of my campaigns and I'll show you that. And I know I'm probably over answering the question, so I'm going to come back in a second and just give you the offer again. I'll come back and continue answering questions. So here's just to give you a little sense of urgency. When I started today, I had 18 of these available. So if you want to get the best of box before I go back and I have to remanufacture some more, just know that you'll get one no matter what, but you may have to wait a little bit longer if you hesitate to order right now. But go to instantcustomerrevolution.com/Frank, and I'll type that in. Or you can call the number if you have some additional calls. So it's instantcustomerrevolution.com/Frank, or call. Our toll-free number is 877-505-5344. You'll get access to the system right away. Or 858-876-5053. And one more time, what the system is it will allow you to do local or online marketing for any business anywhere in the world. Whether you want to do it for your business or you want to do it and get paid doing it, we teach you how to set up and do this for other people, or you can use it in your own business. And you can do it for as many businesses as you want. Okay? It's not limited. Okay? And so, can you fully customize all messages in other languages? And Julian, the answer is yes. Okay? Does the software do landing pages? Shane, yes they do. I'm going to show that to you right now. How's that? So let me demonstrate it. So if I wanted to create, and this will blow your mind, because what Instant Customer has is we've gone in and I've spent over $350,000 hiring professional writers, creating campaigns. So we've got campaigns for authors and experts here, and I'm going to just zip through there. Okay, we have we have a campaign called Networking Without a Business Card, another one called Automated Contests and Drawings. Here's one for trade shows, so you can use this for any business. We have one for doing stores or businesses with doors. It's called Grand Openings. We have one, let's see here, we've got it for, it's called Instant Meeting Follow-Up, Instant Event List Builder. Okay, we have some for authors, experts, speakers, and consultants. The book and product selling robot, that's what Brendan Burchard uses. We have some for trade shows here. Automated contests and drawings. The free recorded message campaign. Okay, we've got Evergreen Sales Machine. That does automated webinars and teleseminars. Live sales. Okay, I'll show you some of the business ones here that we have. So here's for auto body. Okay, so we've got one pre-written. You can modify that for any kind of a auto store. We've got chiropractic. We have dentists. Okay, financial planners, home repair. Okay, moving company, ophthalmologist. We've got plastic surgery, real estate, tax attorney, tree service. More with chiropractic, carpet cleaners, day spas, DUI attorneys, dermatologists. You get the idea. Garage remodeler, florist, insurance. And know that these campaigns can be modified for any industry, okay? So if I wanted to pick one right now, and I'm going to go and I'm going to pick a really, really simple one, okay? So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to do a really simple one. We call it the Easy Start campaign. So I'm going to show you right now how easy it is to, by the way, Rick is asking, am I making a replay? Am I making a recording of this? The answer is yes. Okay? So, Terry asks, how many customers can you have under one account? We don't have a limit. You can bring in as many customers as you want. Okay? All right, so I'll keep on going here, and in the meantime, make sure. Stu added. Okay, yeah, thank you for joining, Stu. And yes, know that we're running out of the best of box. So you definitely want to move quickly here. Okay, and you asked Andy, can the clients you sell to have access to the system? We have what we call sub-accounts, so you can create access to the campaigns so your clients can log in and either only see the campaigns. You can give them access to modify if you want to. That's up to you, but you can bring in up to 50 customers using the agency edition, and you can always add additional client sub-accounts if you want. So anyway, I'm going to create a campaign for you right now. I'm going to click on the select button, and you're going to see for yourself how fast this works. So I'm going to call this the Frank Kern demo, and here you can see it pre-fills in all my information. I'm going to hit continue. Okay. Now these two links allow me to share my social media contents automatically. That means it'll put in icons for all my social media. And if I check this little button, it'll actually go out and research my prospects automatically. That means it'll go out and find their Facebook, their LinkedIn, their Twitter accounts. It'll even find out what their age and sex is and visit their website so I know who they are. Okay, so then I hit continue. Now here's where I allocate a phone number. Okay. Now again, I could allocate a phone number in any country right now. I'm going to just use one I've already added here. Actually, I'll allocate one. I'll show you how easy it is. So I'll pick here. Someone type in an area code that you want me to any area code that you want that you live in. Okay, I see a whole bunch of them. I'm going to do, let's see here. Shane has a 920. I've got a 301 from Rick. Let me type in 301 for Rick. Okay, I'm going to click on Get Numbers. Okay, here we go. Look at all those numbers available in 310 area code. So I'm going to pick this one here. I like this. It's got alliteration, 910-9771. See that? And I click on Claim the Number. And bam, that's our phone number for this campaign. And in a moment, and I can also create an SMS keyword. So I'm going to call it Rick Prize, for example. Okay, this will be your shortcut for our campaign. So I'm going to hit continue. I can replace the incoming message right now with my own recording. Remember how we can have free incoming messages? This system will listen to someone, take their message, transcribe it, and someone can leave their name and email address by calling in. So it has a default greeting. I'm just going to leave it for right now, but no, you can modify that. Now, this lets me get notified whenever I get either a new subscriber, someone replies, if they leave a message, it'll attach the audio so I can add as many emails as I want and as many mobile texts as I want. Why do you want this? Because if you've got a sales force or you're working with a client, you want them to get notified every time a new lead comes in. It excites the hell out of them, and you might want to get notified too so you know how powerful your campaigns are running. So again, you can notify as many mobile phones as you want when a lead comes in, as many email addresses as you want. All right, next thing. this thing is going to build our lead capture page for us. So here's what we're going to do. So what do I help my customers do? Capture more leads. Okay? And one benefit, convert leads into sales. Okay, boom. Another business, create a list of loyal customers. Bam. Okay, list third benefits that my customers get by working with me. Create raving fans. Great, I'll leave that. When I click save and exit, this system right now is building a QR code. It's allocating the phone number, building a website, and you get to see it. Check this out. Okay. Oh, and it wrote the autoresponders too that we can modify. First, I'm going to show you what it did, but here's the SMS message it writes, and here's the email message it writes, and you can add as many as we want. So let's check this out. I'm going to click on this link, and I'll send you the link to the web page, but there we go. It just built this web page just now. I'm going to send it to you so you can see it for yourself. You don't have to believe me. It built a website. Okay? So that's pretty cool. And I can replace this little spot with a video, but if I want to modify this lead capture page, well, check this out. I'm going to go in here, click on Edit. By the way, you can try this out. You can add your name if you want to. Okay, I can go in here and click on Opt-in Channels, click on the lead registration page, and launch what we call Instant Builder. This is our lead page maker. Okay, so here it is, and I can change any of this. So I can click on this little link here and change the text, and I can go sign up below, and I will give you a free copy of my book. Okay? If I want to do that. And I don't know about you. If you guys don't know, if you don't know anything about marketing, this thing's right. It's building everything for you. And just imagine, I mean, you can be creating web pages and full marketing campaigns like in 15 minutes from now. Okay? So, here's a question that Andy asked. Can it be hosted on its own URL? The answer is yes. Let me show you that. So that built that, and we can build our own custom thank you page. We can. Oh, I didn't even show you this. I got to show you one other thing. So we've got different designs built into this too. Let me show you some of the other designs we have, because we have something called a template gallery. Check this out. So I'm going to zoom in. So here are all our templates that are built in, and we're adding more all the time. So you can pick if you wanted a green background or a red background, boom, it's done for you. All right? So let me show you the other question that I just got asked by Andy, which is, can it be hosted on our own domain? There's something right here. It says domain name, and you just put in any domain you want, and we give you a couple little instructions here in our help that shows you how to assign your own domain name. But all you have to do is just edit. Give me 1 second here. Okay. So what's happening is it will this domain name, you can assign any domain you want. So I could call it my domain. Click on save, and boom. Now it's hosted, but we're doing all the hosting for you, which is awesome. Okay, next question. Let's see here. I'm just scrolling down. Overwhelm. Aubrey says there's overwhelm. So here's the important thing. This is a great question, Aubrey. I'm glad you asked that. The whole thing, the reason why we created this simple course is we're guiding you through each module based on what our customers have found is most important to generate the most income with the least amount of work. So when I show you each of our modules, okay, we start with the Business Builder and Lead Getter. The first module you go through is going to show you how to just get you started, how to get you leads so you can start converting them into buyers. But we've got tools that will allow you to build your own website. We give you a video to put on your website so you don't have to make it. We give you all the copy and the content. It's in the best of box. We give you your own what we call a mini site that captures leads and follows up. We wrote the copy. We even give you the presentation templates. Okay? So you don't have to learn a bunch of stuff. Oh, Ryan asks about shortcodes. Let me show you the shortcode maker because this is so cool. All right. So we go on under, I'm going to just click on I'm going to go back to, I don't want to save that domain. Let me hit save and exit. Okay, this will blow your mind, okay, the short code creator. All right, Aubrey's going, she's laughing out loud. I got it. All right, so check this out. So I want to create a custom short code. Let's say I wanted to have a short code that I was going to put on a print campaign or my business card. Well, I click on New Link, and I'm going to call it Aubrey's short code, okay? Now, a short link can go to any URL. A go link is going to go to this website that we just built, an SMS. Now, you've already done this, but if I say enter your email and name to get my book for free. Okay, when I save this, oh, and by the way, a short code can also initiate a phone call or an email. But I'm going to do the SMS because this is my favorite. Now, when I click on this, okay, and I click on the image, I'll just show you what it looks like here because it's going to pop up. It built the short code, and if you scan that right now, it would actually generate a mobile text message in real time. Okay, so just so you see how powerful this is, you can create as many short codes as you want. Okay, so this means for your clients, just to give you an idea how cool this is, anyone who's scanning this right now, there's a little counter here that says number of scans. So every single time someone scans that short code, you can actually, or I'm sorry, you know what, I've been answering the long thing. I've been saying QR code versus short codes. I'll answer the short code question in a second. It looks like I got spaced out. That's funny. Okay, so the QR codes, you can create as many as you want. Short codes, let me explain that. All right, let me go over here. So the bottom line is you can create as many QR codes as you want, and you can make them do what you want. So if I wanted to create one that called a phone number, I just click on phone call, and it'll call this phone number. By the way, you can set up the campaign so the phone number can forward to a client's phone, their own office phone number, and you can track how many incoming calls they're getting. How do you like that? Okay, really cool. Okay, so that's a phone number. Got a QR code for that. You could also create a short or a QR code, and you could say send an email. So if they scan a QR code, it'll say, please send me information about your Gniptagazoink. Okay? Hi, just wanted to get your free stuff. Okay? So when we save that, it actually built a QR code just for that, and it would actually send the email automatically. So now back to the short codes. Okay, we have a short code maker right here. So if you take a look at the short code, here are all the ways someone can opt into our campaign. They can either text in, they can text the keyword, which you can assign. In this case, it's Rick Prize to 58885. Our short code is 58885. We have a toll-free phone number, but you can assign your own toll-free number, so every campaign can have multiple phone numbers. Okay, Terry's saying this is too cool, and then it builds the web page. Okay, so the ways you can get in: call a phone number and say your name and email address. We have the best voice recognition that's out there. They can text their name and email address to a real phone number. They can text into a short code. They can call a toll-free phone number. They can actually send an email. Okay, so we have a built-in email thing, or it will build the web page. And you can assign your own custom domain to that as well. And then, of course, you can embed the forms into your website as well. So you can plop it into any blog or any website. All right. So, the questions here, yeah, thank you. WB says this is really amazing technology. Like I said, just to brag a little bit, I spent $3.5 million over the past 3 years building this, and I know there's some people who are opting in right now, so I'm going to just refresh and see how many people probably tried this out, because I'm sure a couple people tried it out. And you'll see something cool. So one person opted in, and they opted in via SMS, so it actually tracks how the people are coming in. And if this were a real campaign right now, I'll actually go to another campaign and show you the other thing that will blow your mind. And again, I have to be really careful so I'm not showing private information here. So I'm going to go to the free gifts campaign. So here you can see across the top, 199 people opted in with our form, 441 came in via SMS, and there's 656 total people in here. My system automatically went out and found 107 people's Facebook information, 83 Twitter, and 61 LinkedIn points. So the system's going out and researching and learning about you. Okay? It's also, if you have your own domain, it's visiting your website and telling me about who you are. And so, yes, it does do reports. Again, just so you know, I'm not going to show some of the reports because I don't want to show someone else's confidential data here. But thank you, Kaylee says this is the coolest software you've ever seen. And I'm really proud of it because what makes us really different from everyone else is the fact that we've got these template creators. This thing will write your emails. It writes your mobile text for you. We build your websites for you, and you don't have to know anything technical. And I'm telling you, I've got people out there right now who have been able to build six-figure businesses in record time because no one's using this yet. It's brand new. So you've got an opportunity to just grab the tiger by the tail and own it. Just for the record, of course I can't promise you that you're going to make money right away, but what I can promise you is you have a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. And look, we've been in business a long time. This is our 7th year in business now. So if we were up to funny business, we certainly wouldn't be in business. So Peggy asked, does this replace Infusionsoft? This yes, it can, but we are not a shopping cart right now. Okay, and thank you for the kind comment, Antoine. And also, we're talking, someone's asking about stopping by and checking out our offices. So here's what we have. In September 21st through the 23rd is our live physical event where Frank is going to be our keynote speaker. We are going to start doing live training at our studios here this summer. So I'll be sending out some information about that soon. And James, thank you. And Andy, thank you for the kind comments. I really appreciate that. But Terry asked, will we be getting more short codes? Yes, we will at some point. And Linda just says, really love the design, and thank you. So Ryan asks, are there limitations to short codes? What if someone already has the word I want? And the answer is yes. It's a dictionary, so you have to allocate your short codes. But we allow you to allocate as many short codes as you allocate phone numbers. Okay? And oh yeah, this is a great question. So Brendan asked, does the SMS text opt-in extract the email addresses the person typed in and place it automatically into an assigned autoresponder? Okay, I'm going to get a little technical on you here, but again, I want to show you something that'll blow your mind. So when you create an autoresponder message, I click on that little tab. Now, the system currently can send a message, an email, a voicemail. I can even send a DVD on demand. So as long as I have your physical address, when you click on the Add Disk button, we're working with a company that you can set up your autoresponder to actually send out a DVD. Okay, so if that doesn't blow your mind, and the costs are $5.99, including manufacturing and delivery anywhere in the United States, including a beautiful 4-color cardboard mailer, or $6.99 anywhere in the world. It's cheap as hell. So here's how smart our system is. Okay, so when you click on Create an SMS autoresponder, I can say, great seeing you today, and I can insert your first name in here with what's called tags. So I can click on this and say first name. Okay, so it'll insert that automatically. Can I ask you what kind of business you have? Question mark. Okay, if I check this box that says allow replies, I can add this to any field I want, including as many custom fields as I want. So, and then I can do another reply that says, cool, would you like to schedule an appointment today? Okay, or I could maybe say, when would you like to schedule an appointment? And then again, I can allow replies. So why am I showing you this? Because our system is the only two-way smart system that will ask questions and allow people to respond and reply. That's what you were experiencing before. So not only can this send out emails, and when someone texts in and joins a list, it can also carry on a full conversation completely automatically. And I'm telling you, this is how you crush it. Every business needs this. Now here's what else is smart. I can schedule the mailing, and I can say, look, I want to schedule it later after subscribed. And if I'm doing a virtual teleseminar or webinar, I can say before an event starts, after an event starts. Why do I care about that? Because if someone's not on my scheduled automated webinar, I can send them a mobile text message saying, hey, I notice you're not on the webinar right now. Can I ask you why? So the whole thing is you can actually get like 50% more people watching your videos, following up and responding based on their behavior. No one else in the world has this right now, and I've got a patent on it. So I know I went a little bit wacky on you here, and I know if you're sitting here going, hey, this is overwhelming, just know that this has been built to be super easy to build and use, so you can do all the basic stuff really quickly. But if you want to do advanced stuff, there's nothing else out there that does what we're doing right now to capture leads, to convert them, to follow up, that has international support and do automated teleseminars and webinars and automated selling. And it's based on gathering intelligence about your prospects. So when you joined my list and I asked you questions, I got to know how many of you are into online marketing, how many of you are chiropractors, how many of you are doing real estate, how many of you are doing local marketing, or how many of you are like not sure yet. So I can build a relationship with you based on who you are and what's important to you. And you can do this too. So just so you know, I'm getting so much great feedback right now, but maybe what I'll do is let me wrap this up because I don't want to take more of your time. The best thing you can do is just join, get inside the community, and start using this tool to start making more money for you or your customers. And here we go. I've got Frank calling me. Let me put him on. Hey Frank, I'm just finishing up here. You want to say hi to your folks? I can't help it. Here, let me put you on speaker here. You can say hi to everyone. You're on, man.
Well, hello, everyone. Greetings from the car, where I am once again late. This is my name is Dr. Late.
All right. Well, you know what? We went a little bit longer than we thought, but everyone's asking these incredible questions, and I just demonstrated the system, and we're getting a lot of really, really cool stuff. And Gabriel says, can I have unlimited content? Okay, so James says, hey, Frank. So we're getting some loving. Carolyn says, thank you. Thanks for who you are. That's cool. So you got a lot of love going on here. That's awesome.
Well, fantastic.
So you want me to give you a buzz as soon as I'm done here?
Yeah, I'll be in this meeting probably for about 20 to 42 minutes. Hey, are there any questions I can answer for anybody while I'm on the horn?
Yeah. Let's see if we got any here. Elaine just says, post this webinar ASAP. I'm getting some highs. So if there's any questions, go ahead and submit them to Frank while we got them on here. I'm going to answer one question that Gabriel asked. So, Gabriel, yes, you can have as many contacts per campaign and per autoresponder as you want. The only thing that you end up paying for, because I pay for it, is the individual messages that go out. But we're competitive. So let's see here. And Aubrey's asking if he can integrate this into Match.com. I'm not exactly sure if I understand that question. Let's see. I have one. Okay, Zachary asked, does Frank's wife have a sister? There you go, Frank.
He does have a sister. She's super hot, too. He's also married to a Ukrainian boxer with a gigantic, nearly life-size tattoo of a tiger that covers up his entire back.
So that means she's not exactly available right now unless you're a serious ass whooper.
Yeah, and then you have to be doubly serious because people from Ukraine, their blood is made up 90% vodka in most cases, so you probably wouldn't even be able to feel the punishment which you may be able to administer.
Yep. Well, apparently.
She's got another sister too, though. She has another sister, Iona.
Okay.
She's also beautiful. I think it must be a Ukraine thing.
Well, so that's a possibility. Ryan apparently says that he has the same tattoo. So, but so far I'm not getting any real serious questions here, other than a lot of love.
I was thinking about more client getting stuff. It's hard for me to turn this off in my brain. I think the working with local businesses thing is just the coolest thing ever. And one thing is the old strategic alliance trick, which I know is nothing new, but for some reason we like to make things harder than they have to be. And I would immediately, if you're in this business and you have a bookkeeper / CPA firm that you deal with, get them to recommend your service to some of their clients because they deal exclusively with small businesses. And one thing which we do for the gym, incidentally, is we go to non-competitive yet complementary businesses, and we say, look, man, you can come and work out with us just for free forever, and in return, we would like you to refer your clients to us. And instead of putting them in the awkward position of saying, hey, go give these guys some money, we give them little postcards of what you saw earlier with that offer. And say, yeah, just give these to your customers, and they can train with us for a month for free, and if they like it, they can join later. So it's a really, really good grassroots way to build referrals, and I think you could definitely do that as a local business consultant by just taking a couple of businesses and you can have strategic partnerships with them and roll. With one clearly an obvious one being your accountant.
Awesome. Okay, so here's a couple quick questions that Joseph asked, can this replace Office Autopilot? The answer is yes. And another one is, Jason asks, how soon can we start if we purchase today? The answer is immediately. As soon as you register, you have instant access. Now, here's one question that Stefan asked. Can you recommend some other specific businesses that are cool to work with? I mean, if you had to go out and pick 5 of the top businesses you'd target, Frank, what would they be?
Let's see if I can come up with 5. Number one that immediately comes to mind is restaurants because it's just a no-brainer. I mean, they run these types of promotions anyway.
Yep.
And they'll follow up, so that's very, very easy. And plus, they have the foot traffic already to begin building a list from their existing customer base. So that's easy. And you can also, as a bonus, help train the restaurant staff to generate leads because everyone that's at a restaurant, not everyone, but in most cases, people are at the restaurant eating while looking at their phone and texting people, often texting the very people they're sitting across from. It's just bizarre.
Yep.
So you can train the wait staff. They're like, oh, hey, dude, I see you got a phone. Check this thing out, man. Type, pizza to this short code real quick and see what happens. You know what I mean? And then boom, now they're on the list. Everything. So business number one. Again, the criteria is always, for me, people who have a high customer value. So another business would be bankruptcy attorneys. Another business would be divorce lawyers. Just saying, hypothetically speaking, those guys might get paid a lot of money. Another one would be the realtors, for sure. I mean, that's just stupid not to work with realtors, especially because they're entrepreneurial by nature and they are proven buyers. So, these dudes buy stuff. Another one would be chiropractors because they are also entrepreneurial by nature. They have a very high lifetime patient value typically, and they are also a market of proven buyers. So that's great. So was that 5 or do I need one more?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Rick came up with a really good one here. I think this is a good idea. Is to go to an executive suite virtual office company because their clients are already outsourcing part of their businesses, and they'd probably be very interested in outsourcing their marketing. But yeah, so, and I know a bunch of our clients go after HVAC. That's a big one. And the other thing, I mean, again, I think anyone, if you just walk around and go to expos, trade shows where there are people selling big ticket products that have a lot of profit. I know software companies, for example, are very, very good who are selling like $10,000 to $25,000 to $50,000 software products because they're frequently attending trade shows. That's one of their primary ways of getting customers. But that's where, again, I have the good fortune of being able to pay attention to our world as a laboratory, which have thousands of customers in it, and everyone tells me where they're making the most money. And people are just sharing that inside the community right now, too. I mean, they're just abundance-minded. No one's worried about, there's too many local business consultants, because most local business consultants suck. I mean, they're just no good, and they don't have good tools.
Oh God! I mean, we had someone come over to the gym. It was a lady who was supposed to be a PR, and she's like, "I'm also a marketing expert." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And I mean, you're right. I mean, just clueless. Like, well, we can get your logo, and you can give me all this money, and I could get you featured in an article, and the Hoya Light newspaper that 7 people read. And like, it's really brilliant. Thank you very much for this. So yeah, I think you're right. I mean, they are all pretty terrible. Another thing I would do is, it's interesting now that we're having this conversation, because Mike and I have this conversation privately where we're still in, very, very tense, hardcore negotiations with the hint of sarcasm in it about working together to actually sell this service to small businesses directly on a national level through franchises and everything. And one thing that we talk about is modeling the merchant services industry, which is what I came up in, which was it was fun and it was not fun depending on what level of business I was in at the time. But I started out as a door-to-door salesman in merchant services, and then I opened my own agent office. And what we did is we had door-to-door salesmen. And the salesman would sell the credit card terminals and sign people up for the merchant services. And where we would make money is we'd make a little override on the credit card machine sale, and then we would make residual income off each transaction that the merchant would make. Well, that model lends itself beautifully to this whole approach, which would be to have a team of commissioned salespeople go out and literally just door knock. I mean, that's how we build. It's not the best. I mean, you can also do direct mail, and you should. But I'm saying if you want to do it just as low tech and grassroots as possible, that's a huge industry that's built on the back of that. So anyway, you have your commission-only salespeople go out and they cold call on the businesses, and they each charge like $100 or $200 setup fee or whatever for the business, and then your monthly fee you give your sales rep. Let's say it's $200 setup fee. You give your sales rep about $125 of that. You take the other $75, which should be, depending on your hiring process and everything, more than enough to pay an outsourcer to set up the initial campaign and websites and capture pages and all that kind of stuff within the system. Means that you're breaking even, or maybe making a small profit, however you want to structure it, on the front end customer acquisition. But your real money is built in the back end monthly fee these guys are paying, for access to the system and to have your help, your team, everything. And incidentally, the whole way you properly build this out is you determine an income goal. So let's say your income goal is $50,000 a month recurring. You're charging, $500 monthly for whatever services. Well, that means you need, what is it there, Mikey, 100 customers. So if you have, 50 sales reps nationally that do 2 sales each over the course of a month, well, just your goal, and that's kind of oversimplifying it to a degree, but not to very much of a degree. So
yeah, well,
estimate the power of elbow grease and ingenuity.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing that Rick just brought up, which is pretty brilliant. He says next week the International Franchise Show is there. So I mean, all the major franchise companies, and I can tell you that George Thompson guy who I showed off earlier, I mean, he was a pizza delivery dude 1 year ago, and he's right now negotiating with Ford, Lincoln Mercury, and with Papa John's Pizza national and regional dealerships for those. And that's just because no one had come to them with this kind of a thing before. And one of our South African customers is negotiating with, he's already got Toyota South Africa. So it seems to me picking up some of these bigger deals isn't that hard, as long as you just put together a little demonstration. That's all they're doing. It's just a little case study. So I it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I became such a raving, near psychotic advocate for the whole system. Was you gave me the demo of the system in your office when I was meeting with your superstars brainstorming on the gym. I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. Let's do a webinar and talk about this, and let me implement it in business immediately. And this is the answer, Holy Grail, and the angels flew down from heaven.
Yeah, and it was done. It was done in about 4 hours. From the time we had the idea until you had final copy and everything up and running. So. Yeah,
and thanks to Kinko's, I had a big poster that you saw in that picture earlier.
Yep.
In 24 hours. And incidentally, yesterday we had 2 people walking off the street just because of that thing.
Sweet. That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah. So when it comes to local, I mean, there's so much that people just don't do that you could do for them that would just get them results pretty quickly, such as put an offer on a sign in front of their business.
Right.
Really I mean, there's more to it than that, but then you can really like just do these extra mile things, and they love you. And they're like, "Thanks, man, it's great."
Yeah, well, we got this one kid who set up a sign at a chocolatier in New Zealand, and they got so much business that the guy told them to stop marketing for him until he could get a bigger building.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and so that's pretty awesome. So it's, you know, and again, right now, about just shy of 40% of all of our customers are outside of the U.S.
Goddamn.
Yep.
Okay, guys, I'm at my destination now.
Okay.
Now I've got the roll.
Well, why don't you just ping me when you're all done? I'll talk to you a little bit later on this afternoon, but thanks, dude.
Okay, see you
Okay,
guys.
yep, bye-bye. All right, well, here's one last question I got from SSSS, which is who's going to train the outsourcer? Here's what's cool. We're going to show you how to get people who are already trained so you don't have to train them, because that's the key to our new strategy that we're just started teaching, and that's in module number 4 that's coming up. So why don't I wrap up right now, because we took more time than I had anticipated, but I think it was worth it having Frank as long as we did today. So let's do this. Let me give you one last opportunity to get in, and obviously you can still get in, but right now I think you can still get a best of box. So join us and go to instantcustomerrevolution.com/Frank so you can get all of his cool bonuses that he's given you. Those are shown right here. You get list control, mind control, and video black box, and at our live event he's our keynote speaker. You can call the number that I've just emailed and sent to you, which is 877-505-5344 or 858-876-5053. So I've got operators standing by. Believe it or not, they can answer your questions. Will is there right now. I know he's accessible and available. My name is Mike Koenigs. It would be a great honor to have you inside our system, and know that we're here to make sure that you are successful, and you've got a full 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee on the system as well. We're going to put you inside. You're going to have Traffic Geyser and Instant Customer Agency editions. Basically, for just the price of those tools alone, you're getting the best of box and the whole training for free on top of that. And our price is $19.97. There is a multi-pay option available as well. So I'm going to let you go. I did record this, and I am going to output that right now. And I am going to make the replay available for download, and so you can download it and you can watch it on a web page. I want to just thank the payment plan. We've got a 3-pay program available. If you have some other requests, go ahead and just talk to someone on the phone. We'll see what we can do for you. So Julian, Joseph, Melissa, Stu, James, Rick, Joseph, all of you, Stefan, Kaylee, Vicky, Rick, I want to just thank you, and Kaylee, Bridget, for spending time with me today. And go ahead.